And hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL in the Trenches, Frontline Prediction Leagues in the Trenches show for recaps and previews and all that fun stuff. I am your co-host Scott. Joining me, as always, is BeerMe. How are you today, BeerMe?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Scott?
You
It's
doing?
early in the. It's not early in the
It's
morning, but
not
it's
early in
in
the
the
morning. You
afternoon.
almost said it. You almost said it. It's
Yeah.
1:33 p.m. Yeah, like that's natural light coming from that window. That's off screen, but that's actual natural light. There is a ring light here, yes, but yeah, it's 1:30 afternoon. I'm on vacation, so we just figured let's just record this when we're good. 10 minutes? Sure, 10 minutes, and here we are. So, this is Frontline League on Twitter, Frontline Prediction League on YouTube. That's the channel here. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Go into our Discord. You can see this booking page. You can check out all the results of stuff. And we're going to touch on some results that we glossed over a bit before because we had three shows in an hour, and we kind of went super quick on stuff. I want to cover on some noteworthy stuff about like someone who's gone now, someone with a new championship. I want to cover a little bit on that, but we're going to go through some new stuff as well. The other thing I want to mention right now is we have a War Room that came out last night. We recorded the War Room for the FPL 2022 Tag Team Tournament, and yeah, that's the name. We never came up with a better one. If we do, we'll start it because it's going to be for Halloween Havoc-ish. The first main show after Extreme Rules, basically, is when that starts. And yeah, Halloween Havoc isn't officially announced yet, but I mean, there's been tapings, there's stuff. It's happening. We're waiting. Announce it, please. Announce it now so we can just go with our graphics and stuff. It's damn near booked. I think there's going to be one title match. I think is going to be on it. Not 100% on that, but keep that in mind. Other title matches will be on the surrounding shows, which you'll see shortly. So just to get that out there, we're well aware of that show. It's not announced yet, and that's how we operate. So, but we are going to dive in here, Beerman. We're going to dive in first with the announcements on the matches, then look at a little backtrack because we got 4 weeks until October 7th for this next show. It's the 15th. I say 4 weeks. We got 3 weeks. It's actually not as far out as we thought. It used to be, but time flies. Let's jump in here, bear me. We've got, of course, the FPL European Grand Prix Championship. James Black versus James Blake. We've got a non-title submission match with the world champion, Jonathan C.T. Martin, facing one half of the Continental Tag Team Champions, you, bear me Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Canadian champion, Sebastian Escobar, in a non-title match with me, Scott, and that's it. So let's talk about more matches for Bound for Glory. Let's just get these in here and knock them out of the park. I'll just mention, first off right now, the GMSG, the other half of the Continental Tag Team Champions, is going to face the Pinner of Champions, Lexi Briggs.
No.
And as I mentioned, he's a champion. And this is on a house show. So it's not looking good. Not looking good. And there's history. So we'll talk about who we think is going to win more when we do the preview show for the actual event. But that's one. I've got that one. Do you have any for Bound for Glory? I should have asked that first.
Yeah, I actually have two matches, so I will do. All right, I got this one since you did Lexi Briggs. We'll go with her partner, tag partner, CJ Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
He will be taking on Dion Blade.
Ooh, that's a good match. That's good.
That is a good match.
I do say that. We had a booking call last night, and I still forget matches when we do this stuff. Because I forget where they are, because we book like 3 or 4 shows at a time when we kind of look at it and kind of plot stuff out. So I honestly forgot about that match. There you go. I'll announce this one. Rate Wrestle, who did make a call for a title shot I saw in character chat. And more on that as we go. Maybe he's been heard. We'll see. Rate Wrestle is going one-on-one with Tino, who just lost in his Canadian title shot after winning the tournament. He faces Rate Wrestle one-on-one at Bound for Glory. Another good match. Again, this is a house show, but really when you talk character-wise, these are high stakes. These are some fun character stuff.
Yeah.
What else have you got, though?
I got Redhead 12, your girl, will be taking on the Alpha Dog in a hardcore match.
Yes, more follow-up from when my flag got stolen and given back to me. I got my ass.
They did give it back.
Yeah, I got my ass beat. Yeah, it's
That's the worst.
Infinity versus La Familia continue singles matches. So I'm picking red. Sorry, Alpha Dog. I'm biased. So yeah, it's hardcore too. So you're gonna bleed. She's gonna
Right,
make
yeah,
you,
that's true.
Yep. And that's all we got for that. As we blow through these, we're gonna go over here quick. Extreme rules. Now, I mentioned, Rate Wrestle. Yeah, Rate Wrestle. I'll tell you right now, you are getting a title shot at Extreme Rules. You had this shot before that post. I want to peel back that curtain a little bit. We had you penciled in to be like, you're the next one. You're the next one. Rate Wrestle, you will go one-on-one with the world champion, Jonathan C.T. Martin, for the FPL World Championship at Extreme Rules. My soundbite got ruined that I said that. It will be in a fight pit submission match. Good luck.
Oh, boy.
That's a day after he has a submission match with you, BeerMe, CT.
I know.
Great. It's Extreme Rules, but these are two non-hardcore guys. So we were like, submission match? I'm like, no, fight pit. We're like, yeah. We were going to do it. We were going to do it for someone else. We're like, no, that's more world title. That's... Mm-hmm. Yeah, so... CT defends against Rate Wrestle. I believe that is a rematch from earlier in the year as well, if I'm correct. I think Rate has a win over him. I honestly forget. We talked about it last night. I'm horrible about that. But yeah, well, again, as that weekend comes, we'll talk more about predictions. But CT, with his first defense against Rate Wrestle, who would have been challenging for the title, whomever it was. Like I said, that's just where that was. Remember how I was going to face CT here in an untitled match? Nope. I told you that match was going to get thrown out of there the moment he became world champion. Nope. CT versus Rate. Title.
That's the thing about being champ too. It's not the hardest thing. Well, it is kind of hard to win a title too, but it's not as hard as keeping the titles. So.
Yeah, we've talked about how dangerous Rate Wrestle is for a long, long time. This could be a one and done for CT, or he keeps it. It's always a big test for that first post Money in the Bank match, right? And if you go back with Money in the Bank, if he didn't cash in points-wise, he wouldn't have won. He only won because of Money in the Bank. If my math is correct on that. So it's like, ooh, how worthy is he as champion to retain here? It could all just come crashing down. Or the CT era continues strong. He's probably watching this going, God damn it, guys. What is what we do? We got to talk about it. So we don't know yet. This is the first match. This is the beauty of the first match after a cash-in. So, and Rate Wrestle's dangerous. I faced him for a bunch of times, and he kicks my ass every time. I kick his ass, too. We kick each other's ass. It's great. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that a lot. What do you think? What do you think his chances are on that one? Just gut feeling right now, before we even do our predictions.
Rate winning?
Yeah.
I'll go 50-50.
Okay.
Just for the simple fact that CT's been on an upward slide, and Rate's been obviously sliding up as well. They're both on slides. They're both going up.
Rate,
so
he's had a couple shots early on last year for some of the inaugural titles. Like he was in the American title chamber, I think it was, and stuff like that. But he never quite had it. This is his first world title shot. He could get it. He could get it right there. So, yep. But what have you got to announce, BeerMe? What do you got? I've got two other matches, just so you know. So,
yeah, I have two. Okay, I have two matches. Have we announced the tag that's for the contenders yet?
I think we did. Where we said one team is number one contender and the other team is in the tournament. Yes. So we did mention that. Yeah, okay. I forget exactly who it was.
All right.
But yeah, we did talk about that last time. No, it was like Symphony of Destruction and Strays, I think, were involved, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the match. But I have their stip. It will be a ladder match.
There it is. Symphony of Destruction, Sheriff and Pain versus the Strays, Michael Marsh and Supreme Rock. And remember, Sheriff is a former Stray. Number one contender match. That's a ladder match?
Yep.
Okay, so the winners of that advance to challenge the tag team champions, which might not even be the good guys because they're going to defend against Black Cross Light at the same show in a lumberjack match. And we will change this match. It is not me and CT anymore. Obviously, that's coming out. But yeah, so SOD versus Strays in a ladder match. Losing team does go in the tournament, and it's an 8-team tournament. So go watch War Room. You'll see how that works exactly there. It's only 15 minutes. You can knock that one up pretty quick. I recommend that. It's a fun one. We had some fun reacting to that. It was kind of nuts. The next match I'll announce, BeerMe, is a friend of yours, is Bastion. your friend, and I guess, I mean, he hasn't done anything negative to me in a while, but I'll say your friend and mine, but not really, no, it's FBU, screw you guys. Bastion will go one-on-one with James Black in a steel cage hardcore match. Remember, there's extreme rules, so stipulations up and down. So, James Black, the European champion, is facing Bastion, who, like we'll get to, did have a confrontation with the Euro champ at the end of All Out. So, that is continuing here. It is some interesting, violent stuff. So, yeah. Lots of doings are afoot. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, I presume you're picking Bastion, right?
Of course.
Yeah, Chris. Of course. That, you wouldn't, even if you weren't heels, you would have said that. So, yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. All right. I have I have the FPL Canadian Championship #1 contenders Watson Rules match.
Oh.
That sounds fun. It's Mad Elite Titan versus Wookiee.
Interesting match. That entirely came about because of the triple threat weekend, basically. Where people were doing well, people were doing good, and then people just kind of ran through that weekend doing quite well. Okay, we'll see where that goes, and we'll see where they get announced. So that's where that came in. And I think, because the way some of that went, like, I know some, if I remember right, with Wookiee and Mad Elite, they didn't win some, like, stipulation matches, so that kind of kept them away from the American side of things, but still did well in other areas, so they're on the Canadian side. Which is an interesting way to look at it, right? Like, if you're good at stipulation matches, that's the American side of it. This being Extreme Rules, technically Watson Rules is a stipulation, so it does count for this, but it's a main show, so we're having it defended. So, there we go. Well, not being defended, but being with a contendership. So, there we go. Speaking of contenders, this one takes a little bit to explain. But I think you'll like it. I think this is going to be an interesting one. Broken Nerd, Roman Pierce, and Chef Urban are in a triple threat match. So Broken Nerd, former American champion.
Yeah.
Roman Pierce, former world champion. He won it fair and square. Yeah. And Chef Urban, who's been oh so close, but has continued on with that momentum quite a bit, right? Like, he got out of the tournament quick, which we all thought was a shocker, but that was kind of it, and then he's rebounded since. So those three names, they will be in a #1 contenders match, elimination match, to determine the next FPL world title contender.
All right.
There's one more part, though, BeerMe. The winner of the match gets the next shot. Second place gets the one after that. So
okay.
The top two scores will get title shots. If you're third place, if you're the first one eliminated, you are not getting a shot. Well, it's not yet.
Oof.
But that's because it gives it gives two people an opportunity out of the three. It doesn't just cut the other two out. Even though we wouldn't have done that, but with timing, that might not have been till, like, Rumble before you know it, right? So, yeah.
Right.
So, Broken Nerd, Roman Pierce, and Chef Urban. And we debated about this one for a fair bit. Are we looking at a 4-way for two #1s and we get one here, one there? Are we looking at, does one of these guys, does Roman get right back in there? Or does he have to earn his way back in? And we looked at basically what happened when Costner lost to Bastion and got cashed in on Hawk, or by Hawk. We literally had Hawk lose to Roman and get cashed in on by CT. Well, Hawk is in the tournament, so he's out of the equation. So now we're back to Roman, and he's pretty much got that kind of like win it back in like Bastion had, where it's not immediate. So he's got that chance here to get the next shot. He might get second place, or he might just be eliminated, and it's Urban and Nerd getting those shots. It's something a little different we want to try. It's more the case, like, the multi-man matches are a fun way to do things, but I do like the idea that it's not just like 1 out of 5 make it, right? So it is keeping things going a little bit. So, yeah. FPL World Championship #1 contenders, elimination. Oh, by the way, it's a tables match. I should have started with that part, by the way. Tables hardcore match. Top 2 gets the next 2 title matches. So that's a pretty marquee match for Extreme Rules, I think. Do you see Nerd and Urban getting their world title shots ahead of Roman? Do you see that happening? Roman getting shut out, possibly? I mean, it could happen.
It could happen.
But Roman's been so good. I don't know.
I'm not really for sure who's going to win that or win and then finish second because all three guys have been just incredible. So I'll have to think on it.
I'll say this right now.
I will say I'm going to pick Nerd to be one of the two. I don't know about the other two yet, but I will pick Nerd.
I think Urban's going to get in there. I think he's going to get a shot. I do.
You can literally draw the names out of the hat.
It's part of how we booked it, but he's there. But yeah, if there's a tie, I'll say right now we haven't talked about it, but presumably, if there's first place and then a tie for second, I mean I don't see why everybody doesn't get a shot. Or if there's a tie for first and then there. I mean, if you look at it sometimes, because depending how the Olympics will do it, you'll have first and second tied, so 2 gold medals, and you skip to bronze. There's no second place. So would we still drop out to third? We haven't talked about that. I'd like to think if there's a draw somewhere, everybody's getting a shot. Is it a triple threat for those two? Kind of like how in the Canadian tournament happened with Monkey Bong and, was it Tino, I think, where they both advanced? I forget who it was. I don't know. We haven't thought about it. We probably will after I said this. We got a while to figure it out. So, but yeah, we want to be fair with it. The opportunity is the key here. We want to have fun. So, yeah. So that's my match is to announce. BeerMe, do you have anything to announce here? Anything else?
Yeah, I have the FPL American Championship match. It would be a boot camp match.
Hey, it's JD. That makes sense. It's JD defending. Yep. So yep.
It'll be our American champion JD, Josh Giannio. He'll be taking on James Costner.
That's right.
A longtime rival.
This, this goes back. Correct me if I'm wrong. This was the Rumble main event for the world title, right? Costner and JD. It was. That was the biggest rematch in FPL history, and here it is again. And for the American title, this time for JD's title in a boot camp match, his match that he kicked my ass in. What is a boot camp match? Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. That's kind of what I was talking about, where Wookie and them didn't quite get the hardcore wins. Costner did. Was more in line with that, so he's more in line for the American side of things, and here we go. So, it's boot camp. Boot camp is just hardcore, right? It's hardcore or deathmatch? I forget. Does it say on yours?
It does not. I think it's hardcore.
I think it was hardcore. It's not deathmatch.
I'm pretty sure it's
It might be deathmatch because there's barbed wire and stuff. I forget. Well, it'll be on the page once we announce it. It'll be on this page, which again you can get through our Discord. Go in there into the match bookings. You'll see it there. I think JD's going to win it. I kind of bet against him a little bit going into the Clash weekend, and then he basically ran the table when it mattered. So I think he's got this. He's going to keep it away from Costner. Costner could be the first American and world champion. He could do that. And I've said it before. He's one of the most dangerous there is. So he could absolutely do this and get things back on track. I don't know. We got to see where it comes out more toward the beginning weekend of October. What do you think? What do you think on that?
Yeah, I've been picking against JD a lot lately, and he proves me wrong every time. So this time I'm going to pick him.
Yeah.
And then watch. He'll end up losing, but I should just bet against him again. That way he'll keep winning. But I'm going to pick him.
He's a tricky one. He is a tricky one to deal with. You're never quite sure what you're dealing with him on that. Now, that's our announcement.
He's the guy that usually always wins, but whenever it comes up, it's oh no, JD's always there, but is he really going to win? And then
yes,
yes,
he is.
He's going to do that. He's going to do that all the time. It's just what he does. So yeah.
Now we have Crown Jewel coming up after that. The World Championship will be defended. Currently that is CT, but he might lose it to Rate beforehand. The tag titles will be defended there. It will be the winner of the Good Guys and Black Cross Light versus the winner of the contendership ladder match, Strays or SOD. The Canadian Championship will be defended there. That, again, is probably being moved to Halloween Havoc the moment that gets announced. That's the one kind of earlier announcement that we don't really have penciled in here. That's just so people know that's probably going to shift. It's here for now, so we have a placeholder, but it's probably getting moved. It might be on both. We don't know yet, because there might be differences with Survivor Series and then nothing till day one, and that's like a 2-month gap. So we want to move some stuff around for that. We do have full gear. The European Championship is scheduled to be defended there. James Blake or James Black, whoever is the winner of that match. And then we got Survivor Series. And yeah, so like I said, there's no Halloween Havoc on here yet. There's no final battle, which we don't even have rumored yet, but odds are, since we got Death Before Dishonor out of nowhere in July, we might get an AEW pay-per-view or an ROH pay-per-view here. And then day one will follow from that. So that's what's coming up. Now, like I said, I wanted to go back a bit, BeerMe, and talk about some stuff that we didn't before. And that was Clash. The specific one here that really got me was RGX and Right Wrestle the Last Man Standing. And that's because we completely glossed over the fact that RGX went through glass. It was in his leg, and he was carted out to a hospital and bleeding everywhere. And then he wasn't really there for the rest of the weekend. So he's pretty much gone at this point. The other thing I want to mention is RGX wrote that. I normally credit Ralentando whenever he writes them, and I didn't credit RGX on this one. I do apologize to RGX for that. That's a major oversight on my part. That was a thing that I always want to give credit to that. Glossing over 3 shows over an hour, it happened. No excuses. This is what happened. But yeah, it was a very violent match. It was a high-speed chase. I'm even in here. Look, I had a lariat, and there was a Bucky on from a Kennedy. So there was a lot of brutal beatdowns. It was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. So again, I always say I don't want to just go through these and simply read them to you. Please come in here and check out also through our Discord, like I said before, down below. You can come into our results and see these results and see the stuff from Clash at the Castle in there. The other that I wanted to mention specifically was All Out with the world title. Sorry, the world title. The European title, not the world, only Europe. This one, the way it ended, I wanted to go in here just to kind of reiterate, because we mentioned it briefly, but Lexi had this one. Lexi had it won until Black rolled in and stole it, putting Lexi into the corner, stole the pinfall on the Arbiter, and won the title. The ending, though, FBU got involved. BeerMe. Basically, we had Black and Blake with their confrontation, and then Catalyst played, and out come you guys. And Bash and Eve had a moment looking at the European title like, oh, it's a belt I don't have, and I'm the only one without one. Look at that, new championship. And there was even, like, a promo about how people don't want him to have it again, and playing on a little bit there to kind of run with things, and even the crowd chanting no as he was holding the title. Like, it was some fun stuff. It was because Bash is a heel now. It's perfect. It's great.
It is.
And then BeerMe, you challenging for the Pinner of Champions and all this different stuff. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to kind of get that out there, and that's how the weekend ended, with you guys standing tall, you pricks. But was there anything from here that you wanted to kind of scroll back on and comment on? Because, like I said, we glossed over a lot, and it went very fast. And I do apologize specifically to RGX for not giving him credit on that write-up. If any other ones happened that didn't get credit, again, I apologize for that too. I know normally the write-ups are done by myself, by CT, and by Red, and Ralentendo does a lot of his. I presume he did his again, so full credit to him for those. I don't know specifically. I truly don't remember it. And then RGX, I know, did his.
Hero, right?
With Hero, yes. That was the Inferno?
Yeah, no. The Buried Alive.
Buried Alive, that's what it was, yeah. Inferno's the thing coming up, so yeah.
Yeah, it was probably, maybe both of them collabed on it, because sometimes they do that with their matches.
True.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm sorry to RGX too, because I did not know that he wrote his match. I had no idea until about we were talking about it right before we came in here. That
yeah, because I said I wanted to go back and cover stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a great write up, and hopefully he'll be back sooner rather than later. Hopefully the leg isn't too bad. Hopefully he'll be back.
Yeah, a big part of wrestling is the injury and going on a break, and that's something I've even teased a lot of times. Just ask CT how many times I've teased about like not showing up for a bit to have like a returning character, and then it's always like, but then I'd miss a show, and I don't want to do that. And I haven't missed a show in 5 years, So it's like, once you do it, you've done it, and you can't undo that, right? So that's a bit of a thing. Like, if for whatever reason I got back on good terms as far as working with Bomber, and I went back to the JRPL, I've still missed all out. You can never take it back, right? Like, it's gone. It happened. It's in the past forever, even though Hall of Fame I wasn't there. Like, things like that, you just can't undo it. So if I for some reason missed a show, I've missed it. It's gone forever. I don't like that. If the right idea comes up, I'll do it. Ask CT. I've been thinking about that for like 3 years, about possibilities on stuff like that, because that's one thing I've never gotten to do, a major return. I even teased it with LWPL for a bit there, BeerMe, when I was attacking GMSG, right? Like, I was doing that kind of run-in stuff when I was doing those little storyline there. Like, the little stories I've not been able to do yet are the most intriguing, but I'd have to miss shows to do a return. I don't want to miss shows, so...
Right.
But yeah, it's a good thing with RGX potentially coming back. He's always welcome, obviously, and look forward to that return if and when that does happen. By all means, he had like an insane summer because we've said this before. He was on track to face Bastion and or the World Championship. Like that was it. He was anointed that, and then this just wasn't in the cards. Like, the wins weren't happening, and then like other wins weren't happening, and it got derailed completely. Which can happen. I've been there, and I mean, you've been there. You lost by a point for like all of the winter, right? So it's rough. It can be rough.
Yeah.
So like, if it's a matter of just stepping away or whatever it is, by all means, like, this is supposed to be fun, and if you're not having fun, you don't have to do it. Like, please, please, please let us know. Step aside, step away. You don't even need to let us know if you just don't show. Okay, well, we get it. It might be easier to do that. Like, whatever you got to do. Whatever you got to do. Don't ever feel pressured into it. Don't ever feel like you have to. Yeah, we say the house shows and the main shows. The main shows matter for your bookings if you want to be here and go up the stories and go up the ranks. You got to show up for it, and that's true. But if stuff happens or things come up, we're human. We know you are too, so we can work with that and run with that. And if you just need time for a breather, go for it. You want an off season? Yeah, we can work with that. Yeah, you don't get to come quite back in exactly where you left off, but we can run with it, and we know how to get back on track and see where it goes. And if some matches get wins, boom, there you go, right back where you left off. No harm, no foul there. So, yeah. And forgive me, I'm burping a little bit now and then because I've been drinking an energy drink instead of normally water like I have, and it's got me gassy. To completely fly in the face of that little speech I just said there. That's great. That's good. It's, if you need time for yourself, pop. I think we're done, BeerMe. It's 2 p.m. I don't know what to do. What do we do? Are we done? Are you done? What do you want to do here?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
I think we're done. Anything else you want to say here to these guys? To some of these championships coming up, or these contenders? Because your contendership is getting a little more clearer now with a ladder match. Are you going to be watching the ladder match? This is more the in-character side. But are the FBU, the must-see good guys, going to be up in that skybox watching that ladder match with the Strays and SOD?
We'll be somewhere around there. I mean, we got to face Black Cross Light, so we're not taking that lightly.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
But,
yeah, we'll be watching that as well.
I like that. We'll be somewhere. Not going to say where you're going to be. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, you just never know.
Never
know where we'll show up.
Interesting. Well, it should be a lot of fun. I, again, thank everybody for checking this out. Again, check out that War Room. It's up, the video prior to this. And I did mention in that one and here, I keep talking about it, but that Rumble that we had, the abandoned draw, that's been uploaded and ready to just be like, boop, to hit it live. I'll probably be putting that live this weekend. I know I've said that multiple times, but I'm going to schedule it to go live this weekend, so it just will. So you guys will see that one when it comes up as well. Just some fun stuff kind of on the in-between, on some downtime that we have right now. But again, this is the Frontline Prediction League. Frontline League on Twitter. Frontline Prediction League is this YouTube channel. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And also, I think the algorithm wants you to watch it and share it. I don't know who you're going to share it to, but if you do, please do. It helps out the channel. Does it help us out? Not really. We're going to do it anyway, no matter what. But hey, growth is growth. We'd like to have more people in here. this stuff got shared with people for Forbidden Door, and we got people still sticking around like Krulix Blackwill. We got Static still here after SummerSlam. Guys like that have stayed. Geisel's been around for a bit. Like, people have stuck
Mr.
around
Glee.
from it. Mr. Glee. These guys had title shots and have worked their way through that. So, by all means, share it if you think anybody wants to jump in and join in. On over. They can go down below into the links, go in the Discord, sign up for a profile, please do. You'll get one after 3 shows. You have a full proper profile. Looks nice. GMSG does those with all the stats. That'll be in there. You'll be on the shows. You predict any show, and you'll be on that card. So, like Bound for Glory and the other ones that will close out the year. Basically, we're in the home stretch of year 2 of the FPL, and year 3 is coming up. So, some interesting fun times for that. And I know I've been wrapping this up, but that survey is also coming with a video from CT. I don't know if he's recorded it yet, but he is doing that soon as well with all the topics that were addressed in that. So please keep an eye out for that also. To wrap this up one final time, Frontline League on Twitter, Frontline Prediction League here on YouTube. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.